So we're starting lesson 6.2 on numerical expressions. I want you to do the warm-up on page 441, and when you finish, close your book so I know that everybody's finished. Let's look at this together. So, how many popcorns do we have? Raise our hand. I'm going to say, how many do we have, Em? We have 3. And how much does each box of popcorn cost, Ani? How much? Costs $2. So how much does 3 boxes of popcorn cost, Amari? $6. Excellent. How many hot dogs do we have, Shiley? How much does each hot dog cost, Olivia? 4. So how much does it cost in total, Liana? 16. Number 3 asked, find the total cost. What's the total cost, Em?
$22.
Perfect. The total cost is $22. Now, what I want to see, what kind of expression could we use to write this out? What kind of expression? There's several that we could use. So we could do this kind of expression. 2 plus 2 plus 2, and then we add 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Basically, the 3 boxes of popcorn and the price, and the 4 hot dogs with their price. And that's how we could find it. But we're in 6th grade. This kind of math with all of those plus signs, with all those addition signs, we want to simplify that. We want to cut those out, and we want to make it easier. Does anybody have an idea of a simpler way we could do it? What do we think? Let's see, Dominic. Irene pointed out we'd have 4 times 4, and here we'd have 3 times 2, right? Exactly. It's that simple. We could group them in parentheses so we would see. This is what an equation could look like. There's several different ways we could write this. So it's a lot cleaner and a lot easier, and you're less likely to make mistakes. The less operations you have on a page, the less likely you are to make a mistake. Let's talk about the order of operations. So, what does the P stand for? Angel, what does the P stand for? Do you know? Call in a lifeline.
Oh my god, bro.
It stands for parentheses. Excellent. What does the E stand for? Shiley. Exponent. What does the M stand for, Chase? Olivia, what does the D stand for? What does the A stand for, Jasmine? And what does the S stand for, Justin? Perfect. Now, this is the most important part, and this actually matters. I've talked about this before. Multiplication and division. Those are the same thing. Addition and subtraction. Those are the same thing. They are just the reciprocal, the inverse of one another, but they are the same thing. The reason that this is important is it's going to come into play in just a little bit. We do this in the order of operations where we follow it and go down. We follow it, go down, or from the side, however you write your order of operations. But multiplication and division, same thing. Addition, subtraction, same thing. So, when we do order of operations, we do this. We simplify the expressions in the parentheses. We find the value of all powers, which is exponents. We multiply and divide in order from left to right, and then we add and subtract in order from left to right. See how multiply, divide is the same step, and add, subtract is the same step? So, here's the second one. I want you to do this in your notebooks as well. Dominic, what'd you get as an answer to the first one? What'd you get as the answer first? He got 180. Who else has a different answer? Let's see. What did you get, Izzy?
I got 40.
40. Does anybody else have a different answer? Anybody else? Sean, what's your answer? 80. So, one of these answers is correct, okay? Now, I'm going to ask us to work through it. Chase, how do we solve it? What is the first step to solving this problem? What is the first step? 10 plus 2. Thumbs up if you agree. Thumbs down if you disagree. It is not the first step. What is the first step then, Yureen?
2 times 15.
2 times 15. Faith, what is 2 times 15? 30. Remember, PEMDAS, multiplication first. Then we add 10, and our answer is 40. Our answer is 40. Now, let's look at that second one then. This second one, this is when I said it comes into play of left to right. Let's see several of our answers. Olivia, what's an answer? She got 2. What's another answer? Who else has another one? Shiley. 60 or 16? 16. What's another answer, Eurene? 4. What do you have as an answer, Izzy? 32. Anybody else have any other answers? Dominic. 2 is already up there. So does anyone else have any other answers? So these are our answers. Yet again, one of them is correct. Let's go through it. We follow PEMDAS. Actually, here's what I want to do. How many of you think that the answer is 2? Raise your hand. Okay, so it's about, a fifth of the class. How many of you think it's 16? We had the one person, confident. 2. How many think it's 4? We have a couple. How many think it's 32? So a lot of you did not raise your hands, but we see about a pretty much even split between that 2 and 32. I will narrow it down for you. It is not 4 and it is not 16. It is either 2 or 32. Angelo now thinks it's 6. It's not 6.
What? No, 32.
Oh, so let's see. Angelo does not think it's 6. Let's see. Now, if we did this, how do we do the problem? When we do it, what is our first step, Dominic? So he did 2 times 4, and he got 8. And then he did 16 divided by 8 and got 2. What's the problem with what he did? What's the problem, Angelo?
You have to do division first, then multiplication.
Yes, left to right. But I thought PEMDAS was multiplication, then division. What? Why did we do it the other way? Why, Angelo? Division is not always before multiplication, but because they are the same operation, just the inverse of one another, you go left to right. They're the same, so it matters which one you do just from left to right. That's why it's important. So, what's 16 divided by 2? Who can raise their hand and tell me? Let's see. Amari? 8. What's 8 times 4, Sophia? 32. Our answer is 32. So when you have the same operations, aka multiplication, division, aka addition, subtraction, you go from left to right. Here's a complicated one. I want you to solve this one. First of all, I want some answers. Raise your hand and tell me an answer you got. Amari? We got 66. What's another answer we got, Emmett? 56. Did we get any other answers? Sean? Okay, so our main answers we get are 66 and 56. Those were the 2 answers that my period 1 got as well. So let's see. What's our first step, Angel? What do we do? Subtract. So we do the subtraction in our parentheses. Exactly, we follow that. What is 9 minus 6? Number of fingers. Show me on your fingers. 9 minus 6. Show me on your fingers. Yes, so we get 3. I'm going to rewrite this line. 20 divided by 4 plus 17 times 3. Now what do I do? Now what's my next step, Amari? Yeah, I can divide the 20 by 4. What is 20 divided by 4? Show me on your fingers. Show me on your fingers. It is 5. Now I have 5 plus 17 times 3. Now what do I do? What do I do, Ani? Multiply 17 and 3. What is 17 times 3? Who can tell me 17 times 3, Angel? 51. And then I get 5 plus 51. What is 5 plus 51, Kyle? 56, yes. So I'm going to address 2 parts of this. We have 2 questions. Let's start with the first part. Here, what we had is it says, why do we add 5? This 5 is brought down from the 20 divided by 4. Notice how I like to write it line by line by line so I can see what step I'm doing. 20 divided by 4 is 5. But we don't add the 5 just yet. We have to multiply first. The way that we got this incorrect answer, 66, is by adding the 5 and 17. Yes, that is going left to right, but we still have to follow PEMDAS going left to right. So there's still that multiplication step that needs to be done before we can do the addition. However, if you had added the 5, you would have gotten that 66, which thank you to Amari because I didn't know how people had gotten that. So it's really great to see how people are doing the math. Remember though, we follow PEMDAS left to right. Try this one now. What's our first step? Where is the first part that we start? Let's see, Stephanie. Yeah, so in our parentheses, we do our exponent. In our parentheses, we do our exponent. 8 squared. We write that as 8 times 8 because there's 2 of them. What is 8 times 8, Ani? Perfect. So it now becomes 5 plus 64 minus 2 times 2. Now what do I do? Emmett? 64 minus 2. Wait, I thought that I had to do multiplication before I did that and stuff.
You gotta do parentheses.
Parentheses first. Yes, Emmett. So 64 minus 2 becomes 62. Then I have 5 plus 62 times 2. What's the next step? What's our next step, Sean? Multiply the 62 and the 2. What is 62 times 2, Chase? 124. I want to do it in a different color. 124 plus 5. What's 124 plus 5? Let's see what it is, Caesar. 129. Excellent. Okay, go to page 443 and do C and D. Very quickly, I'm going to walk us through this just so we have time. 5 minus 2 is 3 times 25. We got divided by 5 minus 12. We go left to right when we have the same operations. 25 times 3, 75 divided by 5 minus 12. 75 divided by 5 is 15 minus 12. We get 3. For this one, we do in the parentheses. Who can tell me what 2 cubed is? What's 2 cubed, Kylie? 8. So we get 8 plus 4 in our parentheses. That is 12. 24 divided by 12 is 2. Excellent. Let's look at this together. We have to learn how to write expressions. This is the entire point of this lesson. So we have this. Alexis and 3 friends are at the mall. Each person buys a pretzel for $4, sauce for $1, and a drink for $2. Write an expression for the total and find the total cost. So you need to write an expression. What that means is I want to see something that looks like this. I want to see all of those numbers written out before we solve it. Now, we're going to go this because some people messed this up. How many people are at the mall? Raise your hand. 4 people. 4 people. Excellent. So a lot of you are struggling with writing the expression. Let's think about this. We're going to break it down. We have 4 friends. Each person buys a pretzel for $4, sauce for $1, and a drink for $2. How much did each person spend? How much did each person spend then? How much did they spend, Angelo? $7. And how many people are there? 4 people. So it would be 4 times 7, which is 28. However, our expression would look something like this. 4 times, and we can put in our parentheses how much they spent. 4 plus 1 plus 2. That's it. That's our expression. Because then we simplify that to the $7 and we get our total of $28. Now, I want you to do numbers 1 through 4 on page 444. Your homework is page 45 to 46, 1 through 12 only. You must get number 4 approved by me before you can move on.